Do you people feel empowered at work? Now, empowered is a word that sometimes has a bit of a negative connotation. It's been around for a while, and some people think it's very airy-fairy and wishy-washy and a little bit too right-brained. But it's a very important thing that we need in our teams for the future, because what you want are people who can take initiative and have got authority to take initiative and make decisions themselves. That's what empowerment is. So what do you need to do with your team to build empowerment? Well, the key is building good judgment in your team. So let me tell you, when I was teaching my 16-year-old niece Abby to drive, so her parents were a bit reluctant for her to learn driving, but she persuaded them that if her uncle was willing to teach her, then would that be okay? And they said yes. And so I kind of taught Abby for the first 10 lessons or so, the first 10 hours of her driving, which I think are the most difficult. And then I handed her back to her parents so that they could take on all the extra hours of practice that are required before she can apply to get her license. And she did get her license, and she got it first time, so I'm really proud of her for doing that. And when we were talking about handing over, I remember saying to Abby, I said, Abs, you're a pretty good driver. Your job now is to not get into other people's accidents. And I was really talking about judgment here. I wanted her to be able to exercise good judgment when she's driving. Because as a driver, the rules, the right thing to do, when you need to indicate, when you need to give way. So you've got all that information, you've got the skill behind the wheel, but there are many times where you have to exercise good judgment when you're driving. And this is really important. And this is really important for you as a leader and a manager, that you can build good judgment in your team. You want your team members, when they come to you and ask you for help, you want as much as possible to be able to say to them, I trust your judgment. So can you do that? When somebody comes to you, of course you can't do it all the time, because sometimes you go, no, I know a little bit more than they do, so I'm going to help them, guide them, maybe even do it for them and they can watch me. But what you want is that as much as possible in the future, when they come to you, you help build their judgment so that next time you can say, I trust your judgment. Now, there are many ways that you could do that, and I'll talk about a couple of them in this public online presentation I've got coming up around the future of work, because having a team that's adaptable, flexible, open to change is one of the 4 pillars of the future of work. And I'll talk about all of those 4 pillars, and my goal in this presentation is open to everybody, is to give you a little bit of big picture, but also some really practical things that you can do right now to get yourself ready for what work's going to look like in the future. So you'll find the link to register here. Please do, and please feel free to invite others in your team and your network as well. I'm sure you'll get value from it. I'll see you in the future.